Okay everyone, it's really freaking hot down here in Arizona, but I figured I would do this video anyways. What I have is a 2005 Ford Escape that has a power door lock issue where it doesn't lock or unlock. It makes noise, listen. And it tries, but it definitely does not unlock. So it's a real pain getting in and out of the driver's door in here without this thing working. Now these are a little complicated to replace because you got to pull off the outside door handle and some other components because it all comes off together in there. So I'm sure a lot of people can use this video instead of going to the dealership and paying out the butt on it. So you're already paying quite a bit because the latch comes with the lock actuator and the door ajar switch all together. It's the only way to get it. So you're already paying $100, $150 for it. So you might as well just do it yourself. And I'm going to show you how. Alright, so reach around on the inside here and open the door, and we'll start working on it. The first thing we're going to do is pull the door panel off here, get that out of the way, and then we're going to work on the outside door handle. We'll get that separated, and then finally we'll start pulling these screws off right here for the exterior door latch. Now, one thing to note, first thing on the video, is that these are not T30s, they're T27s. If you use the T25s, they'll fit in here and feel like they're going to come out, but you'll most likely strip out the screw in here. So make sure you have a T27 Torx bit on hand. Okay, so there's a few points of attachment on here for the door panel. The first one's right here. You can probably see it in the handle there. There's a Phillips head screw. There's one right there on the side. Okay, and then over here we're going to pop the cap on that, and we're going to pull another Phillips head screw out of there. And right here there's another point of attachment there, and it has a little cover on it for trim on there. There's a little divot right here. What you want to do is get a fine pick inside of here, whatever you have, and kind of pop it open like that. And once it's open, you can see there's another Phillips in there. So just go ahead and start taking all the Phillips bits out of there. I'll put you back, watch me take the door panel off, but I wanted to show you up close so you can see exactly what I'm doing from what appears to be far away in the GoPro here. So let's put you right there. You might as well pull this one out. Just remember, this one is that gold color. You see the gold color on there, so let's keep that in mind, whereas these other ones are just plain black. This one's more of a pan head over here, and this one, you just pop the cover off up here. Hopefully you can see that. Get that off, and just keep all these screws and covers and stuff all in the same spot. That way you can, you don't forget anything, you don't lose anything. Another Phillips up here by the mirror, and the one, the cup holder here. Get that out of there, and then this trim piece up here for the door handle. That just comes out of there, out of your way. Just gotta unstick it from back here, and you can just pull it right out of here. Stuck back in there. We'll pull that piece off of there, put it next to our screws, and now you can see we're clear for pulling a door panel off of there. Now this door panel is still held on here by a bunch of push pin fasteners all the way around the panel on here, so you can either grab it, stick your fingers on here and manhandle it, or use something like this, a cat claw or a trim tool, get underneath here and you just start pulling on it. If anything, this will get it out far enough so you can get your fingers in there, like I said, manhandle it, and pop it off of there. Now once you pop it off of there all the way around, get it like that, make sure you're fully out up here, and then it'll simply come up and off of there. And we're going to have one or two connectors right here for the door locks and power windows. There's just little tabs on there. Looks like there's just one on this particular vehicle. You're going to need a little pick to get in there to depress it, it's recessed in there. And that'll come off. Here's that one connector that I pulled off of there. And there's a little tab right here in the center. It's pushed down with your pick and then pull. And it'll come right out of there. Now at this point, we need to pull this water shield off of here, okay? And in order to do so, the only thing that's holding in place besides the tar type stuff here is this bracket right here. It has another Phillips. So pick that off and keep the screw and the bracket together like that. And then at this point, you start pulling off this covering on here. And it's going to stick a little bit, but you should be able to pull it off of here in one piece. And I always think it's best to take it all the way off of here, else you're just going to deal with it flopping in your way all the time every time you try to move and work in here. There's another little connector right here, don't forget it, going back together. Tough little bugger. But it's got another little gray tab on there also. There we go. Depress the tab all the way. Pull that. We can get this out here. Make sure you take this, if it has any left on here, usually it does. It's so hot down here it kind of stuck to the vehicle though. Lay it down like this so that you don't put it face down, then all the dirt just gets in here and it won't stick no more. So just lay it down just like this. Alright, over here by the door latch there's a big old connector on it, and it has a red tab down here. If you probably see that, you're going to want to grab that, pull it this way so it unlocks, and it's just like this. And there's a little tab in there that locks the connector into there. Just push up on it and pull out on the connector at the same time. And we'll get this out of the way. Alright, next thing we're going to do is roll the window up if it's not already. Make sure that's all the way up. Okay, I'm going to bring you deep inside of here so you can see what we're going to do next. There's two T20 screws right here, one right there, and one, you can probably see it better, it's right there. So that one and that one, we're going to take them all the way out. And you can see me doing that. Get these out of here. And you can see they're different. This one has a big fat head on it, and the other one's got a smaller head on it. And I'm pretty sure that one's also a lot longer. We'll see. They're definitely two different screws, so keep them separate. That one right there, you see how long and thin that one is? So we'll keep that out of the way, and then we'll go on to this one. Try the same thing. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to take the exterior door handle off from the outside now by sliding it, and I'll show you that. Once that's released, the interior side of this is released, and the whole thing can come with the door latch coming out of here. So there's one on the right hand side here, this one right here, in case you get them mixed up right here. You see how small it is? Real coarse threads on it. Now let's go to the outside and take the door panel off. Door handle, that is. Alright, next thing we're going to do is remove the exterior door handle. So we're going to make sure we have the keys in hand. We don't get locked out of the vehicle. Hold the door open with your foot like this. Pull on it. And then use a cat claw or a flathead screwdriver, whatever you have. And get behind here. And we're just going to pop off the trim piece here. And that should come right off. It hooks in on this side. So don't pry on this side. It's going to hook in there. It's free on this side, so it has little tangs on it. So get this out of the way. And our pile of parts there. And this thing, it simply slides back and the whole thing pulls out of there. That's why I say make sure you have a hold on the door here. It's going to get locked out here. So it'll come out like that. And the gasket may or may not come off of there. Put that away also. And that's it. We need to go back inside. We can start pulling off the reinforcement for this, and the door latch, and the interior door handle all together. Okay, back on the inside here, you can see our exterior door handle is flopping in the breeze. It's ready to come out. We need to unclip the interior door handle from the door skin here. Just get behind it with a screwdriver once again, and it'll pop right out. It just simply snaps in. Something like that. You can see the little clip on the back side here. Let that hang. And we come over to here on the exterior screws here. Like I said, make sure you have the T27s. And we're going to unscrew these and we can start taking the whole thing out of there together. Alright, let's start taking these off of here. Like I said, T27s, not T25. There we go. See, they're pretty short. And they're all the same length. So just make sure you don't lose them. And start taking this out of here. Now once you've broken it free from up top here and all the attachment points, simply come over to here and then take the whole thing out together like this. Okay, we got our new latch right here. Everything looks right side, all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to start transferring over components to the new latch on here. And the first thing I usually like to do is the cable here for the interior door handle. Now these should just slide right up and out of here. Made a little assistance from your pick here. And I want to be able to show you this on camera, but you basically pull up like this and it comes out. So same thing going back in. Stick it into there, lays into there, and then your cable will simply snap into here. Like show you, secure and secure. One thing down. Okay, now we need to get all the linkage for the exterior door handle and everything here transferred over. So there's a bunch of small screws on here. They are T15s. That one's a Phillips for some reason. And we're going to get these off of here. Let me see what size this one is. Yeah, it's a T15, maybe even a T10. I'll get the correct one here in a second. Let's get this screw out. This is simply a rain cover on here, but it's a good idea to make sure it's still on there when we're done so that there's no problems. So put that there. These should both be the T10s. I don't know where that screw came from. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, so this top one right here is a T15. Keep that out of the way here. And up top here you can see it just kind of snaps into it. And this is all of the water shield stuff. So you can either use your fingers here or a pick and push these in just so it can sneak past here and get it up and out of here. And this way it can't come off of there, but it gives you access to everything on here. Okay, so our cover's off of here, it's out of the way so we can see everything now. What I do is I keep all the attachments over here on the exterior door handle, leave them alone. Come over here to the latch we're changing and change those out, pop those off. And see, it's out of the way now. And this green one's the first one I take off of here. You just pop it up from the outside here, a little bit of force. It just simply snaps onto there. Something like that. See how it popped up like that? We can come around the back side here and we have to reuse this, so we're going to pop it off of here. There's little tabs in the back side here. Push them in on both sides, and then you just simply pull the thing through there. Like so. And you can see those little tabs on there, and then it pulls through. Alright, let's get this green clip transferred over to the new latch here, like so. It's all ready to go. And then our last connection on here, let me get this out of the way here, is this one right here. So you simply take it, since it's the last connection, and we're going to snake it through here, okay? So let's keep pulling on it and transferring it through here. Took a little bit of effort. We're just getting it through there like that. Okay. We know it goes on the outside here. So let's transfer this over also. It's just basically a noise insulator more than anything else. A little bushing on here. Hopefully you can still all see this, but I'm basically just transferring components over. Let's do this. And we'll transfer it over to here. And we can get rid of the old door latch on here. And we're done. And there's my son. He's coming to help me. I'm fixing a door latch. You gonna say hi to the people?
What people?
The people right there. They're watching you. Okay, now it's time to install the rods onto here. I have it facing this way. You can see this one. And this one's facing this way. What we're going to do is we're going to put this rod into here first. And then this one, there's no adjustment at all. It just snaps into there. So what you're going to do is something like this. We're going to get it through there. A little bit of grease works in there sometimes. So it looks like that. Swing it around. Okay. And like I said, this one, you just simply put it onto there and clip it nice and strong like that. And we can start attaching the water shield to the latch here itself. Get it on the other side here. Goes through the hole right there, see right there? I can take this whole thing and flip it like so. And then it's all back together. We just need to put that little screw up here and that little one down here, and this thing is set to go back into the door. Okay, now once your whole latch assembly is built and assembled to the interior and exterior door handles, put it in the door like that, and then make sure you have your 3 screws on hand, and make sure you put blue Loctite on so we can start threading them in as we're holding it up on this side and mating it up on there. So get your Loctite and your bolts. And I'll put links to all these little adhesives and the latches and stuff like that in the description down below. Okay, we'll get a screw ready. Let's get it half lined up on here. Remember, it has to go underneath the window run. And get it flush on this side and start getting your screws in. That'll hold it in place. Put all 3 of them in by hand. Okay, let's secure this and get it out of our way. It simply hooks into here and it snaps into there, so it looks something like this. Give it a little hook into there, line up your hole on there, and then you push. And that's all there is to that. Now we can go after the exterior door handle on here. Okay, this little nylon piece right here needs to go inside of here. Then we can put that small gold coarse thread screw through here, and that'll hold the exterior door latch in place also. And we can start working at it from the outside on there. So we'll get it lined up to the hole here. Okay, everything's in place. And let's get that small screw in there. Okay, we got ourselves some light now, so we're going to hold that nylon piece from the outside and put this coarse thread screw in. And let's just get it snug so it holds it in place for now, and we'll start working on the outside here. On the outside here, we're going to put the door handles back on here, so make sure your gasket's on here. Okay, and there's a gasket over here, but first make sure that your door lock reinforcement has come all the way through, is lined up, and the 2 little tangs right there pop through on there. And then you put the gasket right here. That just kind of sits in place. And then we're going to grab our door handle. Okay. Hook it in like this. Put it in, get it flush, and then all you gotta do is go like that and pull. Now with this one, you simply stick it back in the hole in the front there. Okay, and you line it up, and it should snap in the back and be perfectly flush like this, like it is right there. All solid, secure, gaskets in place. That's all we have to do with the door handle on the outside. Let's go screw it in from the inside. Now the last screw to lock in the outside door handle is this long one up here, so start screwing that into there. It should go through this water shield and the reinforcement here, and it'll go all the way to that outside small piece of the door handle we just put on. So hold that from the outside, reach around and hold it while you're screwing this side into it. And something like this. Reach around, hold it. And this should screw in here, you know, fairly easy. That way you know you're not cross-threading anything. And just snug it by hand. If you didn't already, snug this one up. Okay, we're good. Let's take our connector and slide it onto there. Make sure there's no corrosion on the connector. Push till it clicks like that. And then this little red tab right here, slide it over and that'll lock it into there. Okay, over here you can see all 3 bolts are in, but then they have Loctite on them. In by hand, so there's no cross threading. Now I can proceed to tighten this up. There's really no adjustment on here. These holes are pretty precise, so let's go ahead and tighten these down. Now at this point, just in case the door latch does not work for whatever reason, manufacturer's defect, wrong part, whatever reason, make sure the window's down or another door's window is down. You're able to access the car still. You can go ahead and proceed to testing this to make sure it works properly, both lock, unlock, interior, and exterior. Okay, here we go. First thing I notice is it latches in real nice. It's flush with the other doors, and you can see it's not moving around in there, causing noises. So let's try it. It should be unlocked, I think, right now. Okay, works good. Let's lock it. Can't get in. Unlock it, and it works just fine. Again, and it works just fine. Now the interior door handle on here, you can simply test by doing this. Put a screwdriver in here, Phillips, latch it fully, okay? And then we're going to lock it and unlock it. We see the indicator moved up here. Now we should be able to open it from the interior here. You can see it flicks up. Okay, you should also be able to unlock this. We'll open the door from the interior, locked or unlocked. So it's locked right now, should open still. And it works, so we're fully functional now, and that didn't take too long. It's more instructional than anything. Let's go ahead, put this door panel back on, and get out of this heat. Okay, water shield back on. Only thing we have to do is make sure this connection goes back together before we start putting the door panel on here. So simply line up the holes in here and stuff like that. The old markings on there. You'll see it all. Okay. Markings. This one's been taken off a few times before. Reattached on here. Push it all down. Let's reconnect this. Sure is a weird connector. Okay, let's not forget our bracket for the door handle. It goes right here just like this. Okay. Line the little ears up on there. There we go. And put the door panel on next. Now just make sure all these little green fasteners are in here like this. They're all over the place on here on the outside of the door skin here. These usually are pretty robust, they don't break. Just make sure they're all in place. We can start hooking this in. Let's connect our door, lock, and window switch. Clip it in. You can simply come over here, hook it in the top here. See how I'm hooked in on the top? And then you can start coming down with it. Starting the sides here, and make sure you're lined up. Let's take the small black screw, a little thinner screw. We're going to take that and put it in the end here. And we're going to take the bigger one over here, put it down in here. There's two big ones. And the other big one goes over here. Let's get our cap back in here. Pop this back into place, same way you took it out. Make sure you hook the end of it in here. There we go. Let me get this small gold screw in here. So overall, it's not too bad as long as you follow my directions and you take the interior, exterior handles out with the door latch. That's the way to do it. Don't try to manhandle and take everything apart on the inside. Just take it all out together, rebuild it on the ground, and then put it all back in as one. It makes a very simple, very professional job on there. Hopefully this helps.